What's up, everybody? It's Adrian and Brambila here, and I'm coming to you from Boise, Idaho at the official headquarters for Clickbank. Sitting across from me is Ben Harris. And before we get into what we're going to talk about today on how we can help pretty much any affiliate marketer, specifically emphasis on the ones that are just starting out and how to make their first affiliate sale, I'd like to just quickly bring up how we first got in contact.
Yeah, it's a year and a half, I think, which now just meeting in person. It's so funny how you can do that on the internet of like have a friend and then you meet in person like, oh my gosh, like you're real. Here it is. I probably freak people out a little bit when I do that. But we came in contact from my former employer, ClickFunnels, when I was running their affiliate program. When I first came in, I looked at a lot of our top affiliates who had good existing, recurring affiliate revenue with a large audience of, they've already dipped their toes in the water, but it could be so much bigger. We could put together a cool campaign, a custom offer. And you were one of the first names I came across that had consistent good revenue, and looked at your audience size, your YouTube channel and your Instagram, like, holy cow, like we've got to get something together. Like I've got to do whatever I can to get a response on a DM. And how many times did I DM you? Like 15? I'm not sure. Maybe, once a week for a while. That we finally had gotten in contact and kind of became friends then.
Nice. Yeah, super cool. So I'll read between the lines here. Basically, I was slacking hardcore, and he was trying to keep me in check. No, all jokes aside, no, that's super cool. I feel like your resume, I wish I had. You ClickFunnels and now at Clickbank, these are like the sexiest, coolest companies in like the niche of affiliate marketing. And I think what you're doing here is really exciting. This is actually why I wanted to talk to you, is because you are now spearheading a program that I've personally already dived into, and maybe I'm a little jealous because I think it's almost better than my stuff, about educating people in a way that you're doing it without the Lamborghinis and the show of all the money you can make in this make money online space. You're doing it in a very genuine way, authentic way, but you're teaching, inspiring, and specifically step-by-step help on how people can make affiliate marketing not just a side hustle, but even a main hustle. Sure. So I don't know if you can intro what this exciting program that you have is, and I would love to just dive like kind of an intro of it.
Oh, I'd love to. So we introduced late last year Spark by Clickbank, and Spark is, our huge dream is to make it really the one-stop shop when it comes to learning affiliate marketing. And whether that you're looking to scale into a full-time income or a side hustle, you can sort of dictate that path once you come into Spark. But you'd be surprised, Adrian, how many people, come into Clickbank that have never made $1 online. They're really looking to get started. So that's sort of, man and woman, our customer avatar, right? That's like slapped on the wall in our office of, I want to take, Mike or Sally by the hand and, let's show you how to just get started and get that first sale. And then we go on from there. But that's how you come into our world.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So I think, a program like this, many, many years ago when I started, I would have loved to have it. And I feel like what you guys offer is the credibility of a really awesome, reputable brand like Clickbank. And then you have this world, this dark, dark world of course grabbing people who are, selling you, pitching you the dream, which does exist. I feel like I feel very fortunate to say, there is a side of doing this that allows you to have your dream life. You may not
live in it.
Yeah. Many people may not share the dream of living in a van, but at least that's my dream for now. But and you guys actually provide hardcore data. You have I learned over 100,000 affiliates at Clickbank. You have tens of thousands of offers, and across that now you have this access to a world of data that I don't have. And now you can use that to create content on like what are the top performing offers. How does someone make it from the bottom 100,000 to the top? And it's just incredible. So I want to ask you a first basic rudimentary question, like how, if I want to do affiliate marketing, maybe defining what it is and how do I even get started?
Good question. So affiliate marketing, and there's kind of twofold. So one is like a story that kind of describes what affiliate marketing is, but it's essentially on the internet having your own custom link that you can use to promote someone else's product or service that you get paid for. So I really wish when I got in this game, 10 years ago that I had known how easy affiliate marketing really was. Because I started an Amazon business, I had a supplement company, and you're dealing with vendors and taxes. I mean, inventory management, manufacturing, it's unreal. And affiliate marketing, how it's described to me by a mentor, is really just one giant party. right? That's all affiliate marketing is. And your main job is just to invite people to the party. Once they get there, you know they're going to have a good time. You know they're going to meet friends. You know they're going to get phone numbers or, do whatever they want to do at a party. Literally, your job is just to hand out invitations. And when I heard it like that, I thought, I could do that. Like that's, we're not solving quantum physics here. I could figure out how to, drive some traffic left and right. But to me, that's what affiliate marketing is.
Cool. Yeah. I've never heard that explanation. I always think it's like playing matchmaker. I think I'm like an online hitch.
But
yeah, but I love that. Can I steal that?
Yeah. Shout out to Jim Edwards. He's one told. Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's definitely an awesome name and influence. So that's what it is. Mm-hmm. Now, how do you get started? Where's this party and where are the people and how do I connect them? Like, how do you get started in affiliate marketing?
So getting started in affiliate marketing is really kind of deciding, and it depends on who you ask, but really deciding where you want to get started in terms of category, niche, whatever. Maybe picking an interest that could pertain to you if you're into DIY, if you're into fitness, kind of things like that. When I got started, I was interested in making money. So I was like, I'm going to get into a niche that pays well. And that is what brought me to Clickbank. But to really get started at Clickbank, it's to become familiar with how the products are structured inside of our marketplace to figure out what you want to promote and then how. But I would always start with, what's your end goal in mind, and in a way work backwards from there to find the products that are currently selling very well. And then from that point, look into, are you looking to get started a little bit organically, as in, creating a Facebook page, creating a blog, a YouTube channel, or if you want to start scaling with paid traffic. It all kind of depends on, where you're at, because you could obviously do both at a very high level.
Yeah, definitely. Curveball question. Is it niche or niche?
Oh, God. Niche? I don't know. I'm from the South, so everything's like, I don't know. Niche.
I like niche. We'll stick with that. Okay, so this is actually where I often recommend people as well, that you can't market everything. You do need to have a niche.
Sure.
It needs to be broad, flexible, an umbrella that you can test multiple things, because if you do a niche on underwater chess playing and it doesn't work out, then you have to recreate everything from scratch. So what Clickbank offers is multiple different niches, amazing brands, and they actually have data points on current affiliates and how they're performing. So all this amazing data, just because you have a really cool brand and a good offer doesn't mean you can make money. But having the data point that say there's a bunch of affiliates promoting this and they can make money is encouraging. At the beginning, I feel like you operate a lot of uncertainty. There's so much to learn. There's a lot of fear. What do you think is mandatory, first, like a checklist that you have to do, and then as far as skill sets we have to learn to be successful at, what are some of those? Like, let me just kick this off as like, hey, do you need a website to do this?
Absolutely not. You can if you'd like to. I mean, that's an absolute way. And I think I could be biased, probably just because of kind of the way I've came into this game, and then what's worked for me, and still to this day, like this very second, what's working for me. Because I'd like to talk the talk and walk the walk too. I can never try and sell something that I'm not actively doing myself. But I think that learning the art of, for me, for Facebook ads, and just the power that brings, and how you can get started at a very minimal way, and that's, in my opinion, really the only way to get started to scale up from there. But not to paint the pie in the sky, you do need to have a little bit of a budget. Like, you do need to come to the table with some skin in the game, and if not, there are other obviously other avenues that I'm not as knowledgeable in. But I think that for me, learning that craft can just open up and do so many things for you. In some instances, and like I said, I'm biased, more than an MBA could at this day and age, with the way everything is shifting. It's insane. But
yeah,
I mean, that's kind of how I would answer it, to be honest with you.
No, I think I'd also second the educational part. Surely this world is changing. The tools are changing, traffic changing. As far as like what you need, you can say realistically you can get started in affiliate marketing without a website. How would that specifically look like? One example, TikTok. Create a TikTok, start talking about just van life, and then become an affiliate for things that you use in the van and the coffee that you drink. And you can talk about, create content, and then you could promote, just put the affiliate link straight in your bio.
Boom.
Definitely. You're getting started, you're creating content, you're not even investing money yet. But I also think, to get to a level that's not a side hustle, and you want to scale, which is a word that's thrown around here a lot, basically means try to grow. You do need you need to actually take that next step in your learning and your skill sets, like build that foundation, build that brand, whether it's a personal or a business brand, and then as they say, scale to the moon. But it's like a process. I would rather encourage someone to say, okay, if you've never built a website before, you never ran an ad before, like progress over perfection. Because if you want to get started and then building a website is going to take you 90 days, then try to get started just to learn and promote offers and get link clicks, and understand that you're eventually, if you want to take it to the next level, you need that foundation. But I've also heard examples of people who don't promote via a website and they make thousands a month. But one of the beautiful things about this business is there's different perspectives, there's different strategies. In other words, there's a lot of different ways to win. So
no question.
I always mention, disclaimer and everything. Everything I say isn't in concrete. I could be wrong on many things. It's just what's worked for me, and everyone has different stories. But overall, just take from the fact that take the action, do the work, because there's lots of different ways to win. So if we dive into the second part, then what do you think people need to learn at the beginning? What are some, like, hey, if you're just getting started, what do you got to learn?
I would just learn the act and the science behind affiliate marketing, and especially, like I said, I'm kind of a little bit biased towards paid traffic, but it's knowing your numbers. And a lot of people, they throw money at the wall hoping for a return, and that's when you lose. Knowing how much you want to spend. I don't want to get too far in the weeds here. Knowing how much you want to spend in order to get a sale before you do pivot, because you're going to have to. Everybody does. And even, this is total side note, anyone watching this video, rewind 3 minutes and play that again and take notes, because that was absolute gold, what you just spit out, by the way. Getting back to what I was saying. For that, and really what you want to know is the art and science of affiliate marketing. Of really, it's all about traffic and conversion. So saying knowing your numbers, but knowing what you're spending, tracking your spending daily. If you are spending in paid traffic, that's kind of where my vein of gold is, and kind of just what I know. But you have to know your numbers. You have to become analytical.
Yeah, definitely. I think I started with organic traffic because I didn't have money, posting content, but it took years. And so that's the difference, I think. TikTok is just this weird thing right now where the algorithm is very generous. You can potentially get massive exposure, which right now I have to pay for. But most of my income and my affiliates is all paid ads. So that is the stages of learning that you're going to have to learn how to website, learn how to research, find affiliate programs, learn how to drive traffic. And I think traffic, paid ads, is a modern day superpower.
Sure.
And so this is not a superpower that we're inherited, unfortunately. We have to learn. And it is, if you don't have good mental health, it's going to be battered against, because at least my journey was not romantic. It was lots of failure. But I think I want to ask you a question. I don't know if it's even fair to ask. How much money do you need to spend on an offer to make a buck? I hear you guys did something pretty interesting about promoting in a Clickbank offer using all the tools that Clickbank provided, and after a few days you managed to get a sale. And I don't know, do you know what I'm talking about? It was like a wood product.
Yeah, it was
or something?
cool. So our director of content, Taylor, and I had an idea of, instead of teaching, let's just do it. Right. And they can, like you just mentioned, and I even was reading a book last night. It's like you learn who you are through the art of execution. And it's like, let's actually just it was completely unscripted. We kind of messed up if I'm talking and fumbling my words. We had to, cut and rewind. But we really just kind of didn't even know what offer we were going to pick going into it. So we just rolled the cameras, went through the marketplace, what I was just talking about, selected an offer, and we just did a couple of very basic Facebook ad campaigns. There was not a whole lot to it. To really scale and to do things massively, there are a little bit more things you need to add on, but we're like, let's just show at its most basic form how fast you can get started in this. And back to your question of how much do you need to spend, and these are just basic kind of formulas that I've learned over the years, but it's all about the average order value of what you're selling. So we'll just do simple math saying that $100, I would not spend more than double that without getting a sale. So if I go out and I spend $200, I still haven't got a sale, I'm starting over from scratch. I'm erasing my whiteboard and I'm going back to the drawing board of looking at what worked and what didn't. Because probably some of it actually did work a little bit, and you take that and you compartmentalize it. Did I say that right? And learn, and then look at what didn't go wrong, and that's where your pivots are going to happen. So like I said, you have to become overly analytical, because people lie, numbers won't. And you have to look at the numbers will dictate your actions. So that's what we've even done when we're scaling Spark. We really get down into the weeds.
I love it. That's actually a trick question. How much money do you need to spend? Because if there was an exact dollar figure, we'd all spend it, right?
Yeah.
And I think if people are still asking that question, if you're watching this, you're still asking that question, that means you have not learned enough. Because this is not just, a pinball machine that you just put money in and then you can score a bunch of points. You do. I know. Yeah, I wish. What I do was today it's very different. I've scaled, I've outsourced, and now I'm able to travel, and I only work on my business maybe 2 days a week. But the beginning, the years, the struggle, the grind, it was work. It was work. But the numbers, if you're still asking that question, you gotta like first ask better question, which what you talked about is like something that like people call projections. So you're taking in consideration of things like, we'll just drop some alphabet soup right now. Conversion rate, CPC, your cost per click, CTR, your click-through rate, AOV, you said your average order value. Like there's a world of KPIs, key performance indicators.
Nerd.
I know.
I'm just kidding.
It is a nerdy world.
No.
You got to learn all these numbers because and what's cool about Clickbank is all the KPIs that you need to understand, your numbers are your livelihood. You can actually figure out what everyone else is already doing if you want to dive into that. And then now you can create a projection to say, okay, if I spend $50, $100 and just do some projections with what the best are doing, maybe take it down a notch, because how am I supposed to assume that I can do exactly what these guys are already doing? But it can give you a sense of comfort knowing that at least you've ran through the numbers versus just feel like you're just like, here Facebook, here Google, here TikTok, here's some money, and hopefully you can make me a lot of money back. It doesn't work like that. When with your Spark program, what are you walking through? Are you helping people with those kind of KPIs and just learning all this weird words that we have to do?
Yeah. So with back to the 7-day challenge and the KPIs that we look at. So just beginning and looking at different metrics in your Facebook ads that if they meet these numbers, then you can actually scale. It's time to go. But if you're having a click-through rate from 5 to 10%, ideally like to be a lot higher than that. But that's like the general like floor of, okay, we're sitting okay, that's not too bad. And then we look at CPM, so cost per 1,000 impressions, and if that's $20 to $25, that's a pretty good rate. Anything higher than that, again, have to look at what are we saying, what are we showing, and even in our click-through rate, and then cost per click. So cost per click, those are really the three main that we talk about on the 7-day challenge. And cost per click around 30 cents to 50 cents. Anything lower than that obviously is great, but if it's higher than that, then let's look at some stuff. But I 50 cents again is kind of the benchmark that we teach and that we look at. But and even beyond that into Spark, we do cover, that's just a kind of a brief intro of like, hey, I'm just going to get a sale in 7 days. Come sit over the shoulder and watch.
That's so cool.
But really getting into Spark, it's the foundational education that you need that goes through this nerdy world that we for some reason love, that tugs on our heartstrings. But it's something that basically like everything from definitions, like I said, from metrics and acronyms you need to know, all the way up to running and scaling paid traffic. That's sort of on our basic Spark foundation course, like what that covers. But then we get into, having subject matter experts come in and teach, within their niches from, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, different things like that. So you come into Spark, learn the basics, and then kind of follow where you feel like it's going to fit for what you are good at. For some, it could even be, podcasting, having a blog like you started. So there's so many different ways to get started in this. It's almost overwhelming and exciting.
Yeah, there's lots of different ways to win. I think all the KPIs are super important, but at the end of the day, I always think if whatever amount of money I spent on this campaign and whatever I get back, progress over perfection. Yes, if all this world may sound very foreign, but just think of at the very end of like, what'd you spend and what'd you get back? And that could be a baseline number. Because I always think my CPC matters. My click-through rate's going down, my CPM's rising high, and all these things are key performance indicators. They are secondary metrics. They help you scale, they assist you, But then there's one number I always think about that will trump all of them, which is my return on ad spend, or my cost per lead, but also how much money I make commission as on the affiliate. And if that factored in, despite having the worst click-through rate, the worst CPM, all the worst metrics I can think of, and I still make money, then I'm like, okay, it still works. It still works. So like these numbers help you. But then again, if that was a scenario and I was having totally crap numbers in my KPIs, but I still was making money, it would tell me, the data would tell me, I can make this better. I can actually work and dive in. I can test more. I can iterate more. I can target different people, and then those metrics will help. So ultimately, it's like we need to understand practical business math. What'd you spend? What'd you get in? But you want to take this seriously. You want to not be a little side thing that you're dabbling with. You want to get serious. You gotta master all these numbers. I think if I was just starting out trying to learn all this, to be super overwhelming. You have a 7-day kind of walkthrough over your shoulder. I think that's absolutely brilliant. In the Spark program, how do you feel confident enough to say that it would actually help someone to take and get started and make a first sale? Is that realistic, you think?
Oh, 100%. And what's so cool, not only doing it, but then seeing people and saying, this is working for me too. And right now we have a community we have another program called Spark Campfire with Perry Belcher that we have, and we kind of have like a one sale like challenge. They get a free hat, some cool things in the mail. Cool. And it's great seeing them all, us all congregate together and celebrate those wins. Because if you can get to your first sale, you're 100x more likely to get to your second sale. If you get to your second, you can get to your 10th. And then before you know it, you're at $1,000 a month. And with getting started, and maybe but I don't, any other business in the world where you can start making that kind of money instantly. Yeah. We could go start a franchise, or there's a Panda Express right over here. We could go start a franchise for what, $500,000 that would, drown us in debt, and we got to go staffing, hiring, just inventory management. With this, just invite them to the party.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I love that. And honestly, I agree. I'm also an optimist on a lot of different things, but I agree with you. There's so much opportunity to win. I think one thing I want to talk to you about, I want to ask you something first. On getting started, this is just an amazing world. If people wonder, like, is it the right time? Definitely. Today is the right time. And this is a growing industry, a growing market. More brands are offering affiliate revenues for us to join, and businesses are growing tenfold. One thing just to throw at you, like I have a full-time virtual assistant who applies to affiliate programs on my behalf every day, 25 to 40 a day, who's been doing that for like 3 years, and I have not applied to all of them. So like I don't know if anyone's applying more than I am to these places, but I probably applied to over 40,000, and there's still so much more opportunity. So like what I wanted to ask you is about saturation and some of the problems now of affiliate marketing. Actually, I'll put quotes, problems. They're perceived problems. Yeah. People getting started. That's pretty much the core of the Spark program. What are the fears running through their mind? What are the mental blocks, or maybe real blocks? Why are people failing at this? We just painted a really rosy picture dream of like, dude, you could make a sale and then $1,000 a month later, which I agree, super realistic. But what about the people who are struggling? Tell me about some of maybe the ugly truths of affiliate marketing that hopefully if those people are in those positions, they'll listen to this, and then it'll create those moments of breakthroughs for them. Because I do think there's a bunch of upside, but people, not everyone is winning at this, and you probably have a better insight as to what they're doing wrong, or maybe mindsets that they have.
Yeah. He said, not everyone's winning. Probably in just the 80-20 rule that exists everywhere, probably more people are losing than winning. Let's be serious. It's just the way it is. And I think, that kind of comes into mindset. But first, let me cover saturation. I don't know if I just share the same optimism with you, but I never believe in market saturation, like ever. I mean, agree. The internet is so big, and it exists in all countries, every different walks of life. And when people see, which a gravity score in Clickbank pertains to how many people are getting paid promoting that current product. So, our number one product on Clickbank, the gravity score might be like 300, 350. So there's that many people getting paid promoting that product. And someone will message me like, I'm staying away from that. It's already 300 people. I'm like, you have no idea how much more market share there is to capture for this product. Like I don't believe any Clickbank product since the inception in 1998 has ever been saturated within this. There's obviously market cycles, and it may extend beyond that, but there's never enough people promoting ever. And I don't think that will ever have a problem. Like I can off the top of my head think about 5 or 6 that I know that are promoting some of our top offers at a 7-figure level, and they have never ever worried about market saturation. So adopting the mentality that the 1% have will just, it's the big domino, right?
Yeah.
That one thing happens, it makes everything else infinitely easier. And then why people aren't succeeding of, you know.
Wait, I'll jump in real quick. I agree.
Yeah.
In fact, I think you sound like me. But throughout my years of doing every online business, I have never ever said it's not working because there's too much competition.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, whoever's out there spreading those rumors, like, stop. Like, you're not funny. But and to why people, you know, are kind of quitting is, and again, I like to read books. I'm a geek, but, you know, roll with me here.
Me too.
In Shoe Dog, Phil Knight talks about like a runner's high. And I've never ran. If I ran to your van from here, I'd have to like stop and puke probably. But you know, they have that runner's high, right? So when you get past this point of pain and it's just some sort of, you know, euphoria, right? But during the runner's high, like they chase that pain, like they accept it because they know it's better on the other side, and they want to go through that. So it's affiliate marketing is almost the exact same thing. Like, especially, you know, we teach a lot of Facebook ads and things like that. Like, it might not work at first, but like that period is your runner's high, where it's like it does suck. Like, yeah, like it's not fun. Like, I mean, I'd love to hear some failure stories, and I'm sure your following would too about you.
Got so many.
Yeah.
Do we have time for all that?
Maybe. You know, do we? But you know, during that period of pain, it's almost like they enjoy it, and there's some sort of loose screw in there that's like, yeah, it's not working, but I know it's going to. And I think if everyone would adopt that mentality, and it's not easier said than done, right? I think we see a lot more people on the other side of the fence.
I love it.
Yeah.
Let's paint a little scenario, and let me see if I can get you some specific takeaway here. So I sign up to Clickbank or any affiliate platform network, and then I pick an offer. And then I decide I'm going to run a Facebook ad. And I send 100 people there. And I did not make a sale.
Okay.
Do I give up?
Absolutely not. So what I would do, like I said, you come to the table with a little bit of a budget, right? So if you spent, you know, to get 100 people to a page, you know, we'd have to look at how many people went on beyond that, right? Did all 100 leave? Maybe. We can just roll with that. So you obviously, if something's not converting, you're either in the wrong spot promoting, or you're promoting it to the wrong people, right? If something's not working immediately, like let's solve one of those two problems first.
Right.
You know, if I'm promoting a weight loss offer, you know, I'm not going to go into a gardening club blog and, you know, try and drive organic traffic back to what I'm trying to do. So that could be a problem. Or, you know, you're in the wrong space, the wrong people, really. So you could be in the wrong blogs or targeting the wrong person. So that example I just gave could be both. But,
right. So. I agree, and I'm glad you went this way. That I wanted you to think on the spot, right? We're not looking at your data, but already your mind is racing because there's a math, there's a science, and an art to this. You have the creative, which could be the art, the mathematics of your KPIs, and the science of trying to figure out what to get someone to fill out information and collect a lead or take out their wallet and buy. And so when someone doesn't do that, thankfully, because of the internet age, we can interpret the data to figure out what to do. Now, you broke it out pretty simply. Typically, it's, you know, as an affiliate, inviting people to the party. Did you invite the wrong person, right? Yeah. Or, you know, did you make the offer? Or the offer didn't work, or, you know, there could be dozens of different reasons. But after you spend money, that first $100 online, it may feel like you just gave it away, but in reality, you actually purchased data. So all the data points that we were talking about, all the alphabetic soup on the front end of your ads. Then there's the data, what happens on the landing page. And all these data points help you make better decisions. Because when you do spend your first $100, maybe you're just freaky good at everything. But when I spent my first 100 or 1,000 or gosh, I don't even know how much, it didn't work for me. I had to keep learning. But that's the mindset that you are living. And even this fake example, you're working through your head, you know, these imaginary scenarios. And that's I think that learning to get to that point to know what questions to ask or how to look at this, because I think the way you and I see data, we can take actionable insights from them. Whereas if you're first starting out, you're like, okay, CPC is $1.50, and that means oh crap, I don't know what that means, right? So that's why at the beginning there is important. It is, you need to learn something, because you could just not ever take a training and you could just launch an ad and then boom, the data's there. But you have to learn what it means, how to interpret, how do you keep testing. But then there also is this scenario of like, you may need to just pivot entirely. Something you're doing is off, and that is actually a very realistic scenario. I do this every single day. I'm testing things, probably launching 20 different campaigns. I've outsourced this, it's not me, but like we're launching, my team's launching, and most of them fail still. But we pivot, we find the winners, and that's the winners still pay for all the failures, you know, so that's pretty good. So Spark. People take that. Do you think after they take Spark and they launch their campaign, would they know how to look at those that data points and take actionable insights?
Mm-hmm. So really, with getting into what we have a product called the $100 a day formula with Robbie Blanchard, who is a platinum diamond affiliate with Clickbank, has done it all through Facebook ads. So really with I like to talk and hang out and stuff like that, but I'm not as great as Robbie, right? He's probably one of the best, if not the best in the world. Hopefully he never watches this because he'd be like, I'm the best, who does that. So it's really, let's learn from him. Let's have him come in and dive into his formula. And he keeps it really simple of here's what you got to look at. And if it's not, let's say, cost per click, if it's low, here's what's wrong. Here's how to fix it. If your CPMs are very high, it's like, okay, this is probably what's going on. So in order to, look at the numbers will dictate your actions. As long as you trust that, like you're jogging, right? You're after the runner's high. I know you're literally going through the necessary pain in order to reach that state.
Love it.
Yeah. What's next for you? What's next for Adrian?
Well, my wife and I truthfully just started looking at homes. We're about 6 months into van life, and we may settle down. I think we have 6 months left max, and then we'll pick a home and probably start a family and stuff. That's personally. Business-wise, it's very interesting because in order to do van life, I knew I wasn't able to log in every single day and have Wi-Fi. Sometimes it's been quite a struggle actually when you're in the wilderness, mountains of Sedona or something. But my business is at a point through affiliate marketing, which is my primary income. I share pretty transparently. I made approximately $750,000 in income in 2020, and a profit of around $500,000. I retired my dad from it, and running the entire business plus my other sources of income and other businesses from the van, I really have 2 days a week. And that is really amazing to me because prior to that, I was working every single day. I was in ads dashboards every day, which I used to love, but I was like, how am I going to live in the wilderness and then manage ads? Because ads are drama. And that's where my entire strategy changed. And I thought, instead of trying to scale big, I'm just going to find small wins and try to maintain them and continue to find it. So that's has allowed me to live and really finally, after years, just want to emphasize that, benefit from the passive side. Dare I say the word, the passive side of this business, which you only get after you have done so much research, invested so much money, time, energy, resources, to find the right offers, to connect them, to have a data-driven approach, to collect the lead, and then a drip sequence that looks like all these spider webs. Finally, I can say like I've been able to outsource a lot of that. So as we settle down, I think I'm looking at YouTube and creating content and trying to help more people. And right now, YouTube's generous enough to pay content creators that with scale enough, and sometimes even more. But I think besides that, I really don't know. Like, I remember when people used to ask me what like your 5-year, 10-year plan was. Like, I don't even know. I have no idea. Like, before van life, we lived in Ireland. I still want to go to Asia. And that was actually our plans before van life. We never wanted to plan to live in a van, but when COVID happened, it made sense to travel and safely. And so I'm lost, man. I don't know. I'm just going with the flow.
That's so cool, though. And I mean, how big has your following grown since van life over the last 6 months?
800,000.
Yeah, it's amazing. And looking back, so being in a beautifully remodeled Sprinter van. Yeah, I had it right. What are you going to remember the most?
I think the time of I feel really present. Even right now as I'm having this talk with you, I know that I'm here. I'm not thinking about anything else. And when you live in a van, disconnected, almost like in a bubble, and you're not looking at your screens every day, you're not hitting refresh or checking your social media platforms, you forget like what life was before we were all just looking at our screens. And it's very refreshing to like actually enjoy things. I'm not like walking around smelling flowers and hugging trees and stuff, but I am stargazing.
Yeah,
I am setting up fires and doing cast iron cooking. I'm hiking and I'm walking and I'm reading and journaling and I like almost am like so carefree. But the time, I feel like I really hope that once I get back into I feel like I'm not in the real world, but I feel like when I get back in the real world and we have a home and stuff, that I don't get trapped into all the devices and the the notification game and checking analytics all the time. I really hope I don't do that. Same thing with like minimalism, which has been a really cool concept to adopt in lifestyle. Dude, this shirt, so I think it's my only polo. Surprised I've kept it this white. Everything in the van is like everything we own. And so like,
that's so cool.
I remember before van life, we had any space in the home, stuff it full of crap, no matter what. And then and crap that you don't even need or use, but it's there. And so like we just have this, I can't help it. I don't know if you can help it, but like if there's space somewhere, it's like got to put stuff in it. So I really hope when we do get back into a house and stuff that we keep as much as we can the minimalistic side of this, to have less, to live with more intent. I really hope, but it's going to be probably a big challenge as we all face, consumerism, buy things.
Sure.
But I know on the last note of that, I'll say like, I think I can say confidently that my identity is not associated to anything I own or any product. There's no brand that I am associated with that I feel like, oh, that brand is me. And I feel like sometimes success brings successful traps. So like, what is a very nice fancy car do? I think it traps a little bit of you in it. And one of my influencer friends just got a Lamborghini. It's so nice. It's matte black. I mean, it's freaking nice.
That's
right?
Dope.
But now she has to wash it every day. Now she has to take care of it every single day. Now it's that Lamborghini is a big part of her life now, right? And that, I'm not saying that's bad. I'm not judging. My life is not better than yours, and your life is not better than mine. I do not care. But what I will say is that an object does trap you. I feel I can say that now as I'm free from traps. But the object traps you. The more objects that you have, they provide a fleeting sense of fulfillment. I do feel like the Lamborghini is going to be great, and it's probably providing endorphins every time you open the garage. Like, oh, man, the endorphins just go to your brain. Like, look at that, that's me. I am in a Lamborghini. This is my life. I'm living it. But it is fleeting. Whereas like what the opposite, me living in a van, creates I think I feel rich, but in experiences, in experiences and time, and I do not feel tied to any object at all. I feel like I'm fully in control, and it feels pretty good.
That's so cool. And I do have one more question, because I could probably sit here with you for the next like 3 days, because the example that you're living and what you're representing is it's an honor to sit here with you. But I'm like an adrenaline junkie, so I'm always thinking like danger and like what could happen. You've been in the wilderness. Have you ever like encountered like a bear, or if you guys like in your van, you like feel like shaking, you're like, "Hun, what's that?" And like, or any kind of like, I don't know, crazy like tribe you come across, you're like, "Oh my God, where are we?" I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Any crazy like, I hope we don't die type moments?
I think we haven't come across any animals. I do have a real legit like samurai sword in the van. I've never had to use it. Coming across anything dangerous, I feel like every time we go to what's called BLM land, which is Bureau of Land Management, it's basically free government land. And these roads are usually not paved. And some of them take you to some very interesting turns. Now, it's the middle of nowhere, mountains, lakes, rivers, forests. And I feel like, we don't have anything an event has never happened, but I feel like every time I take a turn down one of these roads into a place you don't know, that you know it's not paved, you worry about like, what are you going to come, what kind of road you're going to go against, because this is a 10,000 pound vehicle. It's not 4-wheel drive. And so if we get stuck, or if we go across a cliff and it's like, that looks a little narrow, it's a big van.
Yeah.
So there's been instances where like, if we get stuck out here and there's no service, like we're going to run out of food or water. And those are the more realistic fears that we come against. But I feel like every day it does bring a sense of adventure for sure, to go on the road less traveled, but van life is actually very safe. A lot of people think like, what happens if someone just comes in your van, but you're in the wilderness, you might see someone way down, but and parking and all, and if you've never heard of BLM land, it does sound like, what the heck is that?
Yeah.
And government land, that sounds really weird. No, think of it like next time you're going interstate and you see like this beautiful mountains and you might see a couple trailers over there. Before I knew what BLM land was, like, oh my gosh, like who are those people, like some hippies over there?
Yeah.
No, it's probably just a van lifer, RV life, and they're on a journey and they've traveled and it's completely free to stay. They're setting up a nice fire. These are regular people.
Yeah.
Some of them actually have met amazing people on the road. I met a motivational speaker who was like world class, super successful, and here he is living in a van, sitting by a campfire, and we're like, oh, hey, what do you do? I'm like, oh crap. Like here you are. Like there's like anyone. They're regular people. I'm not a hippie. It's like it's just a lifestyle.
That's so cool. That's awesome.
Well, Ben, it's been an absolute pleasure finally meet in person. Amazing conversation. Thanks for everything you shared. I truly think what you're doing with Spark, your knowledge, your experience, you're going to help a lot of people. So I can't not say enough positive things. Definitely strong motivation to anyone watching this that's a follower of mine to go check out the work you've created at Spark and Clickbank's YouTube channel and the program. I definitely stand behind it.
Thank you. I appreciate you sitting down and all your content that you've put. It's been nothing short of amazing, and thank you for sharing your message with the world.
Wow. What an awesome conversation. I hope if you're someone who is aspiring to do affiliate marketing, you've walked away with a ton of information. And without a doubt, you have to check out Clickbank's YouTube channel. Some of the content they're creating, like what's the most profitable or amazing offers on Clickbank, that's amazing. No-brainer stuff you have to go check out. Plus their Spark initiative and program is an amazing educational program to get you to your first sale. And I would even argue if you're someone who isn't making a full-time living from affiliate marketing yet, it's still a really amazing program. I often take courses that are even based on the foundations of fundamentals because everyone has a different twist perspective. And on top of Ben's amazing training, they have some real awesome experts in that program that make me look like I'm an amateur at this, and I feel like I do a pretty good job. So definitely hop on over to Spark and check that out. All the links are going to be in the info box below. Otherwise, peace and God bless.